Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my soups series. This lesson is corn bisque with aji amarillo and crab. This is my version of a soup I recently had at a dinner. Corn and crab are great together, but that soup was chunky, and I'm not that crazy about most chunky soups, so my version is pureed. I also added a little aji amarillo, which is a Peruvian pepper paste, for an additional layer of flavor and a slight kick. The cream, which makes this a bisque, and the lump crab meat garnish make this a luscious first course. So let's start cooking. All right, let's sweat the mirepoix, which in this case is onions and celery. Put them on medium heat. Let them sweat. Okay, our onions and celery are translucent, so now we're going to add the garlic. And remember, garlic burns fast and easy, okay? So we're going to stir it up and let it sweat about 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, now we're going to deglaze with some dry sake. How much? Oh, about quarter to a third of a cup. Why sake? Well, you could use white wine if you like, but sake I think gives it a character that you're not going to get from the white wine. So we're going to reduce this until it is almost dry or just wet. Okay, we've deglazed and the mirepoix is just wet or almost dry. We're going to add the corn. Stir it up a bit. I'm going to add the stock. The aji amarillo. You don't need much of this, it goes a long way. Of course, it's very spicy. If you really like spicy, you could add more, but you should experiment with it first, okay? Then we're going to lightly salt it, season it. If you watch my videos, you know seasoning means always and only sea salt or kosher salt and pepper. This time I'm using white pepper. Why? I don't want to have the black flecks of freshly ground black pepper in the soup. And white pepper goes a long way, so don't use too much of it. And don't use too much white salt either. You can always add more. It's hard to take it away. Impossible to take it away. Stir that up. Just bring it to a boil, and then reduce it, let it simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, our corn is just coming to a boil. We're going to reduce the heat to simmer and let it simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes. We don't really want to reduce the amount of liquid, okay? So we're going to do a gentle simmer. All right, I've transferred the soup into the blender. Now we're going to puree it. Okay, let's check it. Looks good. Okay, now we're going to strain it. All right, now we're going to strain the soup by pouring it into a strainer. And I'm going to strain it back into the same pot I made it in. I cleaned the pot out first, okay? And as I've said many times, sometimes this goes better with a spatula, and sometimes it goes better with a wooden spoon. Let's start with the spatula, see how it goes. Seems to be going very well. Now you're going to press this through the strainer with your spatula or your wooden spoon. Okay, when we get to this point, we can stop. We pretty much have just now the shells of the corn kernels, okay? Now I'm gonna rinse off the bottom of this, rinse off the spatula, get all that debris off of there, and then we're gonna clean off the bottom of the strainer, okay? Now this would be the time to thin your soup if it's too thick. If it's too thick at this point, you can thin it with more stock or with water, okay? Okay, now here we have the lump crab meat that we're gonna use to garnish the soup. And I have about 3 big lumps per serving, okay? And what we wanna do is we wanna very lightly season them without breaking up the lumps, okay? So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt on there, a little bit of pepper on there, and they are ready to go. All right, now our soup is a little bit cooler. It's not piping hot, okay, but it's still hot, all right? So what we're gonna do now is drizzle in the cream and mix it in. Okay, now we're gonna taste it. Excellent. Now would be the time to adjust the seasoning if you think that it needs any additional salt or pepper. I don't think it needs anything additional. So we are ready to plate up. Okay, now let's plate up. I'm only plating up 1 for the camera. I'm gonna ladle some of the soup into the bowl. Then we're gonna garnish with the lumps of crab. And then garnish with just a few fresh thyme leaves, okay? And there we have it, corn bisque with Aji Amarillo and lump crab meat. You can see photos of the final dish at my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.